Hello, I'm Pam Hoffman, Everyday Spacer.
I'm Jeff Miller, 2049 Outfitters.
At Everyday Spacer, we show regular folks how to personally and directly participate in space exploration, science, and astronomy. We're here on Friday nights at 9 p.m. Pacific Time, 12 midnight Eastern Time, and 3 p.m. Saturday, Queensland, Australia. Thank you. We're broadcasting live from Thousand Oaks, California. It's live. Thanks so much for joining us.
Unless they're catching the replay.
Unless they're catching the replay, anymore. Yes.
Is it dead?
I have no idea.
If it's not live.
Oh, it's Memorex. Anyway, just wanted to check in with everybody. Did you see any of the Crew 2 launch process? It was about 21 hours ago. We stayed up kind of late, watched until a little bit after midnight. And it was pretty exciting. I guess it went well. It was successful.
Yeah, we managed to see them getting into the capsule. And apparently the families were allowed right down to the base of the rocket to see them off.
Yeah, and they actually make a phone call in from the tower. And they, talk to people too, so that's pretty cool. We've got a comment. Let's say hi, see what's going on. Hey, Seth, welcome. And I know Paulo is watching on YouTube, so yeah, very nice to see you. Thanks so much. I'm really looking forward to sharing this with you. This is a pretty cool aspect. Let's say so. That one too. All right. So yeah, did you either of you guys catch the Crew 2? They spent a couple of hours just driving up there and plugging them into the capsule and everything. Would love to hear your comments and if you got a chance to see that. Anyway.
Okay.
You're up. Live.
Topic for tonight is Journey to Mars from Mars 2020 to Perseverance on Mars Part 4. Over the last 3 weeks, we covered the story of going to JPL several times between 2016 and 2019.
Oh, yep, we're live.
Your turn.
So you will find.
Too bad it doesn't say Pam Hoffman next.
Yeah, well, I was showing Michael's thing. So hi, Michael. Thanks for joining us. Michael's in Hong Kong. So if you want to, see those parts 1, 2, and 3. Are on the Everyday Spacer Facebook group, and it's a little bit easier actually to find them on the Everyday Spacer YouTube channel. They're kind of right in a row. But tonight, we're going to tell you how they have opened up this new virtual tour of JPL and demonstrate what's available online right now. So let's go back to us soon. All right, because what I want to do first, before you do that, I would like to share with you how to actually go and find the website. So there it is. And let me also add it to the comments. If you want to check it out now or later, or just follow along with the demonstration we have set up for you tonight, and then go look at it, I think you're going to really enjoy this. All right. So I think we're ready.
We're ready?
Yes, we're ready.
Here it is again.
All right, so all this started early last month when I got an email, and it looked exactly like the emails that I get from NASA when I have a tour scheduled. And I was all excited, and I thought, oh, what is this? I better look. And sure enough, they talked about a virtual tour. So I went ahead and clicked on the link they provided there, and that took me to the normal page. And I thought, okay, this is cool. You can, in fact, set up a tour for 10 to 15 people, I think it is, and it has a specific day and time, and you get a docent who will show you around, I guess, and also answer your questions, basically, I think, on site and live. However, I noticed the little blue link right there, and I thought, hey, well, let's take a look at this. So I clicked on the link, and I got to this page. Now I'm showing it to you in this format because when we go to the demonstration page, it actually fades away fairly quickly, and it goes to, scroll down. It's the very, yep, it's right there.
Okay.
So it goes to this. Now it's a great interface, and we will show you some of that too, but I really wanted to start somewhere different, because when you take the tour live and you're on this, the JPL campus, they start you not in mission control, which is what you see there, but they actually start you over in the Von Karman Auditorium. So I'm going to go ahead and share that now. Okay, so there is and they call this the lobby. And you can see things like some drop-down menu stuff here. Of course, we were just in mission control, and they take you all over the place. In fact, there's things that they show you in this virtual tour that you cannot see when you actually go to JPL. So I'm really excited about that. And for the purposes of this, showing you around, I'm going to drop all this stuff out, and I'll just show you in the lower right hand corner here, and I'm circling it. I hope you can see that. There are some navigation and other tools too. I'm going to hide all this stuff for now, but we can pop it back up, and you can use these forward, greater than and less than symbols down here in the corner too to jump from place to place. So all right, so here's where you start, and about 60 people get crammed into this lobby area. And you'll notice that, when you scroll across things, a lot of different things sort of pop up for you. And I mean, even little tiny images, every single one of these has something associated with it. There's either text or video for more information.
I'll click on one, show them.
Sure, all right. Well, let's see. I haven't seen this one yet, so let's take a look. And it might be, oh, this is cool. All right. So it looks like you're getting, and we don't even know this when we take a tour. We never see this stuff. It's a breakaway. It shows you all the different parts of this, and what happened with this. This is Explorer 1. This is what we launched first, basically, from the United States.
That's the payload for our first satellite.
Right. Yeah. Of course, the Russians launched before that, and they launched Sputnik. Anyway, so every single one of these little things has some more information somehow. And I encourage you to check out this website and browse around and look at the things that you find interesting. So once we get there and we're in the lobby, they bring us over into the Von Karman Auditorium, the actual auditorium itself. Oh, interesting. And this, I didn't see this pop up before. So I'm going to just pop that back. And one of the things I want you to notice is that it is much brighter in this virtual tour than I ever remember seeing it when I was there live.
And I think that they're manipulating the photos too to just brighten the colors up tremendously, because it looks more like it was built in the 70s than looking like it's made out of plastic like you see here. So it's surprisingly, it looks more real when you're in person.
Well, that makes sense. Yeah. So one of the things you'll notice is there's a whole bunch of different little icons, and these ones are sort of a caret or up arrow, and there's dots on the floor, and we already saw one coming into. Oh, that's interesting, because this is never curtained off when we're in there. So remember that we came from the visitors center lobby. But as you kind of browse around, and you'll start, and you have to check it out, because there's all kinds of stuff. Like, I kind of expected these little squares to sort of, highlight and pop up with some more information. But in this case, I didn't see that. But then they have you, this will take you all the way around the room in the navigation. But when you go there live, you sit in these seats, and they run a video for the first 20-30 minutes. You think it's 20 minutes, Jeff?
They've had different videos, and they run somewhere between 20 and 30.
Right. So the first thing you do is you sit in the chairs and you watch a video. And then one of the docents will answer all your questions. He kind of introduces the video, he or she does, and they answer your questions at the end. And they just want to make sure everyone gets a chance to show up at the center, because sometimes people are taking the bus and they don't get dropped off right at the exact time of the start of the tour. So this gives everybody a chance to gather together and get to see all the other parts of the tour as a group.
And he also then, once they do all of that, he gives some instructions about the tour itself. How to, basically stay on one side when you're walking, so you don't take up the whole sidewalk, because it is taking place on a weekday during business hours. So it is they're still in production while we're there. So it's a working facility that we're touring.
Yeah, right. All the NASA and all the JPL engineers are at work that day. They are at the facility going about their daily, job. They're there. They're working. And we're trying to be really polite and not get in their way.
Yeah. And although I suspect, because a lot of the offices that we walk past are empty, I suspect they kind of know people are coming around and vacate.
Or maybe it's just lunchtime. So all around this room, you have a variety of scale model spacecraft and lots of information. Of course, when you're there, you can read it. When you're in the virtual tour, though, you can click on any one of these things that kind of highlight. And what I really love too is, look at this. I mean, they've got stuff up into the higher part of the room here even. And so you can, when you're actually there, you can browse around, you can take pictures of everything, and you really just get a few minutes though. You get a few minutes to see everything and read what you can, get pictures, that kind of thing. And they encourage you to take pictures. They want you to take away from your experience, your own photo souvenir type things.
Well, and I think they want people to share too, because they want more publicity too.
That makes perfect sense. And so each one of these things can be clicked on, and it looks like there's all kinds of, this looks like more of a slideshow, but some of these are videos. I haven't really looked at this much, but boy, there's a countdown to launch for, 10 months. Wow, it's actually coming soon. All right, and this is SWOT, surface, water, and ocean topography. But anyway, there's all kinds of stuff all over the room in every place we go in this virtual tour. So I think I'm gonna pop out back to the lobby and then go the other way. And believe me, you've got 60 people in a group going into this little room over here. And this is what they call, it's the museum. Yeah. The Visitor Center Museum. All right, let's pop these down again. But everything in here has a little bit of information with it, including like these little spacecraft. And you have to be in the right position. So see, at this place, and we're kind of on one of these dots on the floor here. You see one over here. You've got a 360 view, and whatever is available to you in this particular position, you can take a look at. And when you move, a new set of things opens up to you. And again, this room is super bright. In the virtual tour, it's much less bright when you're...
in the real tour.
It's much less bright in the real tour. And right here, there's like a bench for this. They run a video here. Yeah, but you only get about 8 minutes in this room when you're on the live tour. Yeah, Jeff?
Well, they took out the bench to promote social distancing during the virtual tour.
Sure, okay. So as you browse, like I said, as you browse around the room, different things become available to you to review. And you just have to, really kind of just use your cursor and take a look at things. And yeah, when you're in here with 60 people in 8 minutes, you have no time to look at anything. And there's lots of cool information, like really any museum you go to, but you just don't have a lot of time. So I think this, in a lot of ways, this virtual tour has some distinct advantages. For one thing, you can look at this at any time of day or night from anywhere in the world and spend as long as you would like.
Yeah, and I mean, it's really nice to be there because you get a good feel for it, but you can either look at one thing in depth or scan the whole thing while you're there. And which I would actually recommend you, if you go there, you scan the whole thing, get a good feel for what's what, and then come on the virtual tour and take a look in depth at things, because this gives you a really good, you know, you can see a lot more things than you can in the time that they allow you.
Yeah, that's a really good idea. But of course, if you're in some other part of the world, you're, going to have a hard time getting to JPL in Pasadena, California. So there's lots and lots of things to look at in here. And I mean, even up, and maybe we have to go to the next dot here, but some of these spacecraft, I mean, look at this. We don't know anything about that except for what we see on these, and every single little piece has some information to it in the virtual tour, and you'll see just what you see when you're on the live tour.
Yeah, but yeah, it's nice in that in the virtual tour, you they actually identify and talk about, if you click on one of the vehicles up top, you get more information on it, where you don't really have that in the live tour.
No, you just see the spacecraft. It's a scale model of, in this case, Juno, but here, I mean, you actually get to interact with this in some very wonderful and significant ways. I think there's even stuff, there's stuff in the menu, this 3-bar menu thing, and it looks like you can go to the Juno website, all kinds of great things. All right, so I'm going to actually let you explore this corridor, and I'm going to pop over to some other area in the campus. Where do you think we should go
Mission
next?
Control, because that's
Mission Control.
Tour,
okay.
Typically.
Yeah, well, like I said, when they have 60 people, they typically split you up into 2 groups, and you go either to Mission Control or you go, I think maybe you start in the clean room for the other group. So the group splits, and you go to some places, and then you kind of swap.
Oh, that's weird, because I think I've always been in the group that goes to Mission Control first.
All right. So I've gone a little bit more often than you have. So I've seen both.
Yeah.
I've seen where the group, either can go to Mission Control or somewhere else. All right. So, and here's back to where we were at the beginning of, when you enter the page and you see where you start off with the virtual tour. So this is Mission Control, and you actually do not see this from ground level. You're up in the gallery.
Right there.
You're up back in here behind this glass, and there are lots of seats there, so you'll never see it from this point of view. And I think, look at this. You never see that because it's underneath. I think this is kind of wonderful, because they'll take you places where you just cannot go live. Like, I don't know that we've ever been in there.
No, we haven't.
No.
They've pointed it out where you kind of okay, if you look down and to the side there, you can see in there that there's something in there, and this is what it is.
So this is a perfect example of something you can do with this virtual tour that you just absolutely cannot do on the live and in-person tour. Oh, and there's a bunch of this stuff that has, God, I didn't even go in here before.
Don't get lost. We're on a show.
Yes, okay. I mean, you really could spend hours in here. So I guess, let's see, this will take us back to Mission Control. All right. So when you're in the gallery, the docent will tell you all kinds of stuff about what happens here and, what you're seeing. And sometimes there's people in there. And I remember once I was there with a launch, but usually it's kind of quiet, like it looks like here. Oh, and this is kind of cute too. And actually, yep, this is the center of the universe. But then sometimes they'll talk about that. It depends on the docents you get. Some of them are very, very chatty and tell you everything at 1,000 miles an hour.
But it's a lot of really good info as long as you're paying attention. But
right.
but they also tell you what all the screens are, what's going on, and
Right.
and maybe some things about things that have happened there. I mean, this is where you find out about the peanuts.
Yes. But I think one of the most significant parts about this is they are monitoring this deep space network, and things will change while you're actually in there, and that's live. Uplinks, downlinks, the different places, and they're all over the world. All right, so I'm going to keep moving on because, you're going to get a chance to do this. If you use that link, we put it in the chat, and you go ahead and take a look at this for yourself.
Yeah, Paulo, it is a fantastic place. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It is.
If you ever get a chance, it's great to see it in person, but at least for now, take the tour. It's wonderful. You can spend hours on here.
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the things, let's see. Oh, here we go. I'm going to go to the location. We've been talking about this for the last 3 weeks. And it's the thing that changes the most when you're at JPL, because, the mission control is very much the same. And the Von Karma thing, yeah, they have a different video sometimes, and I'm sure they change out some of the scale model vehicles. But if you go like we did, and it was about once a quarter there for a while, the things that make the biggest change, the most exciting thing that happens is right here in the clean room. And this is where you may recall High Bay Bob lives. And when their clean room is empty, it just gives you a scale model to understand what's actually people would look like in this room. But the beauty of this part, I think, is that you can actually go into the clean room. Now, if you...
There's High Bay Bob.
There's High Bay Bob. Oh, and they even actually talk about High Bay Bob too. I love it. So when you're there live, you get to stand behind these windows overlooking everything. You never get to get a ground level view like this. And I mean, you can walk around in this place. You can go to any of these dots, anything that's highlighted, you can get more information about, and you get to go behind the clean room. Let's see if I can figure out where it is again. Oh, look, there's something highlighted. I love it. Oh, here we go. I think no. Oh, wait, here. To the airlock. Okay, let's see what's back here. Because you'll never, ever, ever see this when you go on a live tour. So, Paulo, come and take a look. Even if you get to JPL, they're not going to let you in this area.
Right. And this is how they get the stuff in and out of the clean room, the vehicles and stuff.
Right. So you've got all kinds of stuff here again. So come and look and check around. And let's see, that's to the clean room. They actually have, if I can figure out where it is again, because I've seen it.
You get to it from the clean room, I think.
There's access into the locker room where they put on the bunny suits. All right, let's see if Jeff's right. Let's see. That's what I was looking for before.
It's actually behind right there.
Well, okay, it's spinning. I'm not doing that. I have to wait. Yeah, I don't know how we get to there though.
Well, you can do it through the drop down.
Oh, so okay, let's try that.
Yeah.
Gowning room. Is that it?
Yeah.
I think that's it. All right. So if you can't find it with the dots and everything, check it out with the menus.
But as you can find it by wandering around. So you might want to try to find it wandering around, just as something to look for.
Sure. So again, this is not something you're ever going to get to see if you go to JPL and take the live tour. Hi, David. What's David got?
Were the images of the JPL tour earlier real or digital photos or computer graphics? If you're, they're real, I think, but they really ramped up the color saturation on them to make it looks kind of fake, but that's exactly what's there. So either they, with computer graphics, reproduced everything that's in there, or they just took photos and really saturated the colors on them to make them like super real looking. And I I don't understand why they did that, because it makes it look kind of fake. But I think they are real images. They just really up the saturation on those, David.
You know, the other thing too is they may have added studio lights like you might do on a studio set. And I think that would do the same thing. But of course, with Photoshop now, you can do all kinds of things. So who knows what exactly they did. Actually, we might be able to call them.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly who would be there, but
yeah.
Did we have another question?
No, just Paulo saying that he needs to visit it.
Oh yeah, I think you totally do. If you know, until then, you want to come in here and take a look. And I mean, they even have a video of the gowning sequence. And this is never, ever something you're going to get to see when you go to JPL. You know, live, when you go see the place for yourself. I mean, for one thing, it's a very short tour. It's only a couple of hours total.
Yeah, I agree, David. That's why I don't like what they did. It does look like CGI.
Oh, okay.
But I don't think it is, because if you look at the door in this image here, it has the same almost super real coloring on it. And well, of course, we've never seen it from here, but things just don't look like that on the tour. But everything, they would have had to work so hard to do the CGI on it, that I can't imagine that they actually did that. So I think it's real, just high color saturation.
So let's see. We saw the airlock. We've seen the clean room. And again, that's like ground level. We never ever see that when we go on the tour. And here's the viewing gallery, and that's where we see it from. It looks like this. I think this is brighter again than when you're there live. And, just browse around. I think this is so much fun because you could come back every single day if you wanted to. You could check out something new every single time. You can spend as long as you want. Oh, I remember. This is that one picture, Jeff.
Yeah.
And this is the other one. So, whoops, what did I do? I think okay, here we go. So definitely take a look. Let's come back to it. Because I think you have one more thing to show, right?
Yeah, so I'll get that.
So let's see.
Yeah.
All right, so we have one more thing on we did a PDF.
Yeah, and so just to give you a little bit more of what the real physical tour looks like, this is the campus, and you come in through a guard gate about right here where I'm circling. It's kind of off the picture, but it's about right there.
Lower middle.
Yep. And you come up, and you'll be parking in one of these two parking lots, although usually this first one is full, so you end up in this one over here. Then you walk down here, and this is the I guess visitor center. This is there's someone at a desk there where you can ask questions, an info desk, and there's a really small souvenir room in here. But
yeah, really small gift shop.
Yeah, but tours meet up right outside here.
Right.
And then they trot you through here where there's another little walking guard gate, and then you come around down here through the mall, which is basically a big cement sitting park where I guess people have their dinner, have their lunches or something.
Yeah, it's a big open space with some seating for lunches. Yeah.
It's nice. It's really nice in there. And this is the Von Carmen Hall, where we just showed you the auditorium and the museum are right in here.
That's where everybody starts the tour. And when we're done there, we split off either to.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Every time I've done it, so it's a different order on the other tour, but every time I've done it, the next thing is going up here into this building, and I don't remember what this building is called, but this is where they had the mock-up of the rover. And they moved it out now, but most of the times when I went, the rover was mocked up right in here.
And I think we showed that in part 1 and briefly in part 2.
Yeah, in part 2, we actually had the video of us walking around the rover.
Oh, we did. Okay.
Yeah, and then you go out through this building into the back, and I believe because they don't mark anywhere what these buildings are, but I believe that this is where the mission control is.
Yeah, I think that's where mission control is.
So that's where you are for mission control. Then you come around and down.
Yeah, because that's the curved road.
Right, yeah. And through this building, and since this is on a slope, you go down and downstairs or down an elevator.
Yeah, one level down, cross over.
And this is where the
go
high
one
bay.
level up.
Yeah, and this is where the high bay is because, yeah, so you go down to ground level, come up a level because you're looking down on the high bay. And so this is where the high bay is.
Yeah, and the whole tour only takes a couple of hours. Right. It's like I think we blocked out 1 to 3 p.m. when we went.
Mm-hmm.
So that's, yeah, it's all fairly close, but of course the campus itself is much, much bigger. Should I go to us?
Yeah.
All right. So we had some, and I don't know where we left off. Did we see any of these up here with David?
I don't know. Let me see.
We're going to get to all of your comments. I really appreciate that. Thanks so much for showing up. And I think we saw that one from David, right?
Oh.
He wants to know Pasadena?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Good.
It is sort of in Pasadena. It's actually in a community. Yeah, it's in La
Cañada, Flint Ridge.
Flint Ridge, which is a community that is basically a suburb of Pasadena.
Yeah, everybody says Pasadena because everybody knows where Pasadena is in this general area.
Yeah.
La Cañada, Flint Ridge, maybe.
Yeah, and there is no cost to the tour. It's totally free, because it's NASA. Well, it's NASA plus JPL, but since NASA's involved, it has to be free.
Yeah, it's actually a Caltech,
Caltech
collaboration. And David, if you do come back over, you got to give me some notice, because it takes and it changes anywhere from 3 to 5 months to make the reservation and get approved, because they actually put everybody through a security type check.
Yeah, and you don't have to be from the U.S. They just want to know that you're not.
Yes.
So that they know how to check, because they will check everyone, which is why when you sign up for it, you have to give them your name written exactly as it is on your ID.
Right, and you have to bring your ID. You have to have your ID or they will not let you in. If you're not on the list, they will not let you in. If you don't have your ID, they will not let you in. It's basically a secure facility. It's not like, a super, super secret place or anything. But they do want you to have, the information you're supposed to have. And they do need time to do a security check on everyone who signed up for it. And we've never had a problem. We've always had everyone who, gave us all the information and we put them on the list, they were able to get in. Now, one people, I tried to get them 4 different times, but they never got back to me. They showed up, they could not get in. They were very disappointed. So you've got to answer all the questions. You have to give us what we need, and we need time. All right, so I see one from Paulo, and I don't know exactly what you're
I think he was just responding to when I was answering him, yeah.
Okay, great. Daniel, thanks for being here. I don't really know what this is referring to. Astrogate?
I think he and Seth are talking back and forth here.
Oh, okay, sure. That's fine. And Paulo, thanks again for the comment. Control. Yeah, it kind of does. It's pretty dark in there.
Yeah, it's much darker in the control room because they want to be able to see all the screens. So they keep it fairly dark there. And
I'm sure it's calming.
Yeah.
And Seth, thanks for that information. Really appreciate that.
Yeah. Yeah. So and since it's federally funded, it's essentially we paid for it, therefore we get to see it. Yeah. And quite frankly, they want everyone that can to see it.
Yeah.
Because hey, the more interest there is in NASA, the more funding they get.
Yeah.
That's kind of like why when people say that NASA's covering up life on Mars or little green men on Mars. No way. If NASA found little green men on Mars, their budget would skyrocket.
And they'd make a really big deal about it. We've got to go there in person. We've got to see this. Yeah. So anyway, yeah. And, had a thought. It's gone. Maybe I'll think about it later. It had something to do with when I was at NASA in Ohio.
Oh, yeah.
Shoot.
Well, let them know about the fact that you used to work there.
Oh, I was a volunteer at NASA Lewis, which is actually called NASA Glenn now. And maybe that'll be another show. All right. Any more questions, people? Go ahead and add it to the chat. We will do our best to answer your questions. And until I see any more, I'm going to go ahead and go into the ephemeris part of the conversation. Oh, we did get one. 42 what? 42. Oh, I see. What Seth just referred to.
Yeah.
I did not know that. Is that on purpose 42? Or is it? Yeah, you're very welcome, David. I absolutely encourage you to take this virtual tour. If you want to have a docent and have a live event and answer, questions live, you can do that too. But you have to go on a very specific, when they open it up, and I think it's pretty much the first Monday of the month, just like the live tours were when we were able to go in person onto the campus, and you have to catch them. They were selling out like 5 minutes. It was like a rock show. I couldn't believe it. I would call them up and I'm like, what happened? I couldn't get a spot. And they said, well, we filled all our spots within 5 minutes. Yeah, the California Science Center. Yeah, that was really great.
Yeah. And, I tried to look at, because another place that we didn't get to, David, was Griffith.
Griffith Observatory.
Yeah. And they do not have a virtual tour of Griffith, which
they don't.
No, I looked. They
really
might
cool.
end up with one eventually, but they currently don't.
Let's call them and tell them, well, JPL's doing it. But actually, they've shut down for right now.
Yeah.
They're not doing anything at the moment, which
Right.
is really sad. I'm very, very sad about that.
Yeah.
All right. So we will look for more of your questions and comments. Until then, we're going to talk about what you can see in the night sky this week. And that's April the 23rd through April the 30th. The moon is 12 days old. It's a full moon on April the 30th. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of quiet between now and next week. April 24th, we have Mercury and Uranus. They're in conjunction. You want to look low in the east before sunrise. Mercury, of course, is easy to see naked eye, but Uranus requires optical aid. On April 26th, it's the full pink moon, and it's a supermoon. Other supermoons are May 26th and June 24th. Why are you giggling? You got to tell me.
I just flashing on Sailor Moon.
Oh boy. Okay.
It's a super Sailor Moon.
Okay. So the full moon rises in the east when the sun is setting in the west. April 26th, Mercury and Venus are in conjunction. You want to look low in the west right after sunset. On April 30th, Uranus and the sun are in conjunction. Uranus is actually too close to the sun and it's lost in the glare. However, this is important because things like transits or occultations happen when things are that close to another body like the sun. I mean, we've seen Mercury transit across the sun, and occultations help us to figure out like what is in the atmosphere of that celestial body. In this case, will be the sun.
Yeah, and of course we won't see a transit of Uranus if we're really, really lucky. No,
we won't see a transit. We'll only see Mercury and Venus in transit. And I love Griffith, and they redid it, and it was just fantastic.
Yeah.
We had the crazy idea to go the opening week after the renovation.
Yeah, that was a mistake, but
that was hard.
Yeah, and David, one of the things is that I can't imagine that it'll stay closed because they put so much money into renovating it, and it was shut down for so long renovating it that when they opened it, it was swamped. I suspect that when they open it again, it's
same thing.
Yeah, I think that as soon as they know that people will actually show up, they're going to open it again.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what's going on with it. I haven't looked at it recently, but that renovation was funded in large part by Leonard Nimoy, who was the popular Spock character on the original Star Trek series, and he showed up in a number of the movies as well. But yeah, if you want to know more about Griffith, maybe we do a show on Griffith at some point, because I'll bet there's people out there we could get to talk on our show.
And might be able to drum up enough photos that we can kind of piece together a virtual tour.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
And if we got a guest, That would be wonderful. All right. So, Daniel, thanks so much. JPL is the only FFRDC under NASA currently. AFAIK. I wish you would. As far as I know.
Yes, we're gonna.
Thanks, Jeff.
We're gonna bring you into the 21st century eventually.
All right. Oh, Palomar. Is Palomar still open to visit? I'm not sure. I was there in like 1991 on the way back from the total solar eclipse in Baja California. So that's a really good question. I don't know, David. We'll have to do some digging into that.
Yeah, because it all depends. I mean, most of those like Palomar and like where we went, which was
the one over here?
Yeah.
Mount Wilson.
Mount Wilson, sorry. Yeah. I just lost it.
Yeah, David came here to Los Angeles back in 2017, and we toured around, and one of the places we went was to Mount Wilson.
Yeah. I can't imagine that they're open right now because I would think that most people aren't traveling right now. But I see no physical reason for them to not be open because they're, it's so light traffic there that they'd have no problem with social distancing. I don't know if they want to deal with, scrubbing everything down like you have to, because remember, it's LA County. And LA County is much more restrictive than
it's very strict here.
Places.
And you're talking about Palomar, David. Yeah, Palomar is a very historic observatory.
Yeah.
All right. So you want to wrap up? Okay,
sure.
Take us home.
Yeah. I was thinking of a song, but I can't remember enough of it to try to sing. So sorry, but you're probably not sorry. Okay. If someone you know has done something interesting involving space exploration, science, or astronomy, we'd love to share our live. Join us next Friday, April 30th, and we have a guest scheduled, Fraser Kane from Universe Today. He also is the main host of the weekly Space Hangout, which Pam, this week coming up?
Yeah, I'm actually going to be on his show on Wednesday, and then he's going to be on our show on Friday. Thanks so much, David. JPL Tour, great to see the U.S. retaining. Yeah, actually, there is a whole lot of space everything here in Southern California. There's a few places in the country that are sort of more concentrated than others, and this happens to be an area with a very high concentration of different space companies. Of course, SpaceX is in the area.
Yeah. And military contractors. I mean, there used to be 6 or 7 different aerospace companies here. Now it's Boeing and Lockheed.
Well, they've kind of merged. A lot of the companies have become one. They're being absorbed by the Borg.
Yes. Yes.
You want to show?
Yeah. You're welcome, Paulo.
We love having you here with us, Paolo, and we love to answer your questions. And if you have an idea for a show, if you want to be on the show, heck, let's just pick a Friday night and talk. What we really want to do with our guests is to demonstrate, everyday space, or how you are actually doing something involving space exploration, science, astronomy, like that. And if you know somebody, we'd love to have them come on, and it's a matter of just scheduling it. That's all we got to do is figure out when the best time is. And, we do have things to fill in. Like there's lots and lots of citizen science things out there yet. And, of course, we've had the idea about Griffith and Palomar. It would be really fun to talk about those as well on our show.
Yeah.
But I really like to do things that you can do. Something you can actually attend, a lecture kind of thing, or visit like JPL, that kind of thing. And people that are doing different things, we really love to talk to them and ask them, how did you get involved with that? And demonstrate to you that there are lots and lots of possibilities when it comes to space exploration, science, and astronomy. And if you have any other questions, let us know, because we are coming to the end of what we had prepared for tonight. Any more thoughts on your side?
Yeah, but none of them good.
All righty. Well, thank you so much for joining us, people. We really, really appreciate that. David and Paolo and Daniel and Seth, and I know Michael was in here somewhere. Yeah. Where's Michael? I I know you're here. There he is. Michael Taylor was here. Thank you so, so much. We really, really appreciate that. And definitely tell other people about the virtual NASA tour. There's that link again. We put it in the comments. And it is so cool. It's so easy to go in and browse around and spend however long you want to spend in that virtual tour of JPL world. Yeah, we got more comments. All right.
Yeah.
Hello.
You're welcome,
you.
Daniel.
You're very welcome. And David, yeah, bye.
Bye.
See you in a week, and we'll talk to Fraser Kane then.
Yep.
Good night.
Good night.